All right. Welcome to Freed and Powered Up the Live. I hope that you were hyped up by the music and ready to go. I hope you know, because you've probably seen the title. So you already know that today's live is going to be phenomenal. It's going to be delicious and juicy and powerful and touching all at the same time because our guest is going to share her story, and her story is amazing. So, of course, we had to have the music to get your energy there. Credit to the music producer, my son, John Zavala, 14 years old, but music extraordinaire. Okay, so got to give him his props. Give him his props. Again, welcome to Freed and Powered Up. Listen, my mission for 2023 is to help 1 million women be free. 1 million women be free. I want 1 million women to hear the message, you can be free. Free from what, you ask? I'm going to tell you, free from all the bullshit, free from all the things that have kept us oppressed, suppressed, hidden, in fear, all the things that have been holding us back, that have been limiting us. We can be free. And so if that's your mission too, and I invite you to be part of the mission, share what you hear here, share this story, share this link, share this information, share this content. You can be part of that mission that we can help 1 million women be free. So again, welcome to Freed and Powered Up. I'm going to introduce you just as the tidbit, because she's going to share her story, to Heather Extraordinaire. She is Heather, the Christian sex coach. And her mission is to help women be sexually free. So, I'm all about the freedom life. So without further ado, let's just jump right in, because we're not going to be up here all night. We're going to dive in. We're going to get the story. We're going to be touched. We're going to be moved. We're going to be inspired. We're going to be empowered. And we're going to be here for just about 30 minutes. So hang with us, share the link, share the story. You may know someone who actually needs to hear this story. They need to hear this power. They need to hear this content. So I'm inviting you to share this so that you can be a part of the 1 million women free mission. Without further ado, let's bring up Heather Extraordinaire.
Hey!
Hi, Heather.
Dun, 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 dun.
Right. Welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. I absolutely love sharing the story of women. And I, we hear it said, we hear the cliche, and our story is our power. But I 100% believe that. I believe that our story is our power. And so I'm so glad that you were here to share your power. I just want you just give the people just kind of a snippet. Just say, "This is what I do." Just your whatever they call it, the one statement. This is who I am. This is what I do. Just give that for a moment, and then we'll dive into your story.
Yes. So, hi everyone. My name is Heather. What's up, Chris? Look, Chris is in the chat. What's up? I am the Christian sex coach all over the internet. And I actually have a mission, girlfriend, because I went and looked at the stats. There's going to be, by the year 2050, close to 3 billion Christians that have made a commitment. And over half of them, like close to 65% of them, are experiencing sexlessness in a marriage. And over 85% are not having orgasm as Christian. So a huge part of that was me. And I'm like, I don't want another woman, another couple to feel what I did. It was so lonely and so frustrating. So that's my personal mission, is just getting my story out there to as many people as I can. And hopefully it inspires someone else to know they're not alone. And then, of course, I like to give tips on how to overcome sexlessness and to incorporate more things to help climaxing in the bedroom.
So I have so many questions about that by itself. So many questions about that by itself. But I'm thinking that some of them are going to be answered as we go through and as we just really hear your story. So everyone who's listening, if you haven't yet, go ahead and grab your favorite beverage, get your tea, get your coffee, well, for me, it's 10 p.m. So if you're in Europe and it's that time, get you your sip of, your wine or whatever it is. And let's just relax. Let's just kind of settle. Maybe some of you are at work, right? So go ahead and get your coffee. or your tea, right? And just gonna settle in a little bit. And let's just settle into this story. Heather, I imagine. So, first of all, I just want people to, I didn't put in the title because I want people to hear from your mouth the number of years that you were in this sexless marriage, right? Because I just want them to hear it from you. But I
I know
imagine
so
that
many of my friends are like, "Why didn't you get a divorce? I would have left him at like year 2."
okay.
Hmm.
So I imagine that your marriage was not always sexless.
Hmm.
And I wonder if you might start us off there, right? Where was the transition when, between you being, having those juicy nights together and having that, the honeymoon phase and the anniversary phase and all those things, and to the transition into sexlessness.
Yeah. Well, when I met my husband, I had just come out of a very abusive relationship with my
Mm,
older kid's father. And so I was a very broken
mm,
human that really struggled with trust in men. Although I really wanted a relationship, I loved being married, even though the previous person wasn't the nicest, person.
mm,
So I always knew I
mhm,
wanted to get married again. And so when I met Chuck, oh my God, he was so good with my boys, and he gave me everything that I needed in that time when I hadn't gotten it up till that point from a physical man, like from a dating relationship. He was very attentive.
mm,
He
mm.
loved on my kids. He held my hand all the time. He gave me lots of kisses and snuggles. And the sex was freaking incredible. So, yeah, like the kissing was amazing. Like everything was just like super on point. And so, of course, when he asked to marry me, I didn't know that we were going to experience sexlessness. I don't think
Mhm,
anybody
mhm, mhm.
does when you go to commit to another person and you're standing up in front of friends and God and family and you're like, I do. I don't think that you realize that maybe some of the I do is I'm going to have to go through a period of not having sex with my own husband who says that he's committed to me and is going to love me till the day I die. Like
Well,
that's
and not only did he say that, but he showed that,
what I
right? So
mean.
there
Like
there
I
were
had
no
no
red
I had no
flags.
clue. Like there was
So
no sign. There was
there
no
was
sign,
no sign. And
no
I
sign.
want people to really hear that, right? Because I a lot of times like, well, didn't you know? You had to have known. You had to have seen something beforehand. And I love that you said that, because it just came to me right now. When you're saying I do, you're saying I do to what you know, right? You're saying I do to what you've experienced. You're saying I do to more of this. Like I do more of this, right? I
Yeah, like
do more
what
of
you've shown me so far.
this. Right, exactly. And it was probably part of your vows, because it was part of my vows too, for better or for worse, right?
Yeah.
And when we're thinking about worse, I should probably ask you, but when I'm thinking about worse, I'm thinking about, okay, there are gonna be times where we probably hit, financial
Mm-hmm.
strains, and we're gonna be challenged
Or
by
like you
that.
might fight.
Yeah, we
Or
might
yeah,
fight,
something with
we
the
might
kids.
we might lose something, we might have accident, things, there's gonna be like some worse, but I can't imagine anybody when the when the preacher, the judge says for better or for worse, you're thinking, well, we might not have sex for years.
Yeah, you know what? That's actually a good thing that the dating community should start. Is
Mm,
what does worse, like what would you define worse as? And maybe y'all
as
should make out like a whole freaking list, because maybe like, your worst and my worst doesn't match up. So,
mhm, right, right.
man.
So when did the sexlessness start, and how long did it last?
Well, my husband, like I said, was so freaking amazing with my two boys, and he ended up
Mhm.
adopting them. So they actually have
Wow.
everything. Yeah. So
Yeah.
he's an incredible dad, and I really wanted to give him his own kid because I'm like, oh my God, he's so good with like Cody and Michael. I would love to give him his own kid. So we went
Mhm.
on that journey, and I ended up having two miscarriages at 5 months. So very
Wow.
painful, very like dramatic
Yeah.
trauma.
Dramatic. Yeah, for
I
sure.
mean, it
For
was,
sure.
I mean, I won't go into details obviously, but I mean, it was bad. And so
Hmm.
then we finally got pregnant with our now Joshua, who just turned 18. He just turned 18. And
Congratulations. 18 years later.
and so he's amazing, huge blessing, such a miracle in our life. And when the doctor released us to have sex again at 6 weeks, I was like, yes. I'm like, woohoo. And here I think like we're just going to go right back and revert right back to how it was before. And
Right.
that didn't happen. As a matter of fact, the very first time that I approached my husband for sex, I got myself all dolled up, I had makeup on, I even put my lashes on. I had my high heels on, the lingerie, like all the things.
Right.
And I went to climb on top of him, just like how he loves it when I, used to do it. And instead of him embracing me, how he would always do, he literally took my body, he picked me off of him, and he went like this and he put me to the side. So now I'm like on the floor. And I was like,
Wow.
what? Like, what just happened?
Yeah, you're like, is
I'm
it the
like,
dress?
dude,
Is it
like,
the
you got like this lingerie? Like, what's
right?
up?
Is it the shoes? Like,
Yeah, like, what is it? And so he said, I'm just not in the mood. And I was like, oh man, all right. Well, I just got myself all
mm,
dolled up. So, all right, whatever. And so a couple days later, I tried again.
mhm,
And same thing. And then it just became this thing like week after week and then months and months. And of course, I'm a talker. I wear my feelings on my sleeve. I have no
mhm,
problem sharing how I'm feeling and what's not working. And so you better believe I was having conversations with him like, why are you
mhm,
not wanting to have
mhm,
sex? It was like a headache, tired, whatever. And so he's like, I don't know. He's like, I love you. It's not you. I don't know. And that's all he would give me. And that basically started our 12 years of no sex.
Okay, now did you all hear what she just said? She said 12 years, you all. She said she didn't say 12 weeks. She didn't say 12 months. She said she was married and sexless for 12 years.
Mm.
I need some sound effects for real because
Yeah,
because
we use like the
I
crying one, the crying sound
that
effects.
is like blowing past some people's minds, and for some people they're like stuck, like can't even, they just
No,
can't
I mean,
even.
like some people can't even go 12 seconds without sex. So.
Okay, Chris said, wow, that's a long time.
Okay, now let me just tell you guys this because sexlessness, it's gonna have a different meaning for everybody. So for us, I'm just gonna say like what kind of things we were doing to connect, because there was a little bit of like kissing and there was
Mhm.
hand holding still. And we would still snuggle, like we still snuggled at night. We were still emotionally like
Mm.
connecting. And every great now and then there might be some oral stuff, like, but that was like months and sometimes years in between. But like the intercourse part, there was none of that for the whole 12 years.
Mm.
Now,
Now I
see,
have a
that's
question.
why I'm saying like everyone has to define it for themselves. And then people have to also define like when do we think it's called sexless? Is that like
Mhm.
not until we get to 6 months or a year? Or is that like we haven't had sex for a month, now we're sexless? So
Mm.
it's gonna
Right.
be different for like everyone.
It is. And oh, I love that you said that. I love that you said that because for some people, it may even be the reverse, right? For some people, it might be like, okay, we're having sex, but we're not having intimacy, right? And so
Yeah.
we're like, and for them, that portion is as important.
Yeah.
And so they may still even feel like they are
Oh yeah.
sexless,
They're just
even
doing it like
though,
robots, no emotion. They don't really want to be there. What's up, Stacy?
hey,
So
Stacey.
yeah.
Wow. So, so I have a question. When, because this is very, for me, this is very cliche when you hear someone say, well, it's not you. I don't know what it is, but it's not
Mm,
you, right? You hear like that. You
yeah,
hear
you're
that
right.
like whatever in the movies and the TV shows, the soap operas, it's not you, right? It's not you, it's me, right?
Mhm.
So when that was said, what were your thoughts? Like what were your feelings or emotions on the receiving end of that? we're not having sex, and you're telling me that it's not me.
Yeah, I don't know. Still to this day, I don't understand the whole picture because my husband's an
Mm,
engineer and he's very tight-lipped about so many things, and he does not know how to express himself like emotionally and things like that.
mm,
So it takes a very long time for him to process things, for him to get his thoughts gathered, and then be able to actually say, like what
mhm,
was happening.
mhm,
So there's even still some pieces that I don't really understand. Maybe, one day
mm,
I will when I get to heaven.
mhm,
But
mhm,
I mean,
mhm.
yeah, it was hard because when someone doesn't give you like something that your brain can understand, because that's the hard thing is like the way that God made our brain, it's like we need to understand before we can move on. So if
Right.
I'm not getting an explanation and nothing is making sense to me and you're not sharing anything, then my brain is going to have to like come up with its own like solution or ideas about what's happening. So
Mhm,
I,
mhm,
because he doesn't give me anything, thought it was because I had gained a lot of weight after the miscarriages. I just ate my face off from the emotional, stuff. And
mhm,
so
mhm,
I'm like, is it because I gained weight?
mhm,
Is it
mhm,
because you saw, Josh come out of me and now you don't want to go down there? Like, it's something like that. Is it,
mhm, mhm,
because we had the two miscarriages and you don't want to get me pregnant again because it was painful
mm.
for both of us? So I'm asking all these questions and he's saying, nope, 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 nope. So I like literally, I still to this day don't really, really understand like the why it got pulled off.
Yeah.
I just know what I did to bring it back.
So that's powerful. Oh, that is so powerful, Heather, because we, I think, as human beings, and in my experience, as a chaplain in the military and helping people through trauma for over 10 years, there is this like innate need for the why, not only in, situations like this where there's sexlessness, but, where there's a breach in trust, where there's, infidelity, where, there's like this innate need for the why as we're moving on, like why. And so I think it's so powerful that here you are now, so many years removed from that, overcome it, healed it. You guys are moving on together, celebrating life, and that you still don't have the completeness of that why. And I just feel like that's really powerful for people, particularly women, to hear. You actually can heal and move on,
Yeah,
even if you don't
it was
have the
a
all
decision.
pieces of the why.
I had to decide. Yeah, it was just
Ooh,
like, yeah,
say
I'm just
that.
like,
Say
you know what? I'm and because I'm committed to my God and I'm committed to what marriage means, the ideals behind
mhm,
marriage and the commitment I
mhm.
made, before God. And so I just decided I don't need the reason.
I don't need the
Yeah, I don't need the
reason.
reason. I'm just gonna accept that this is what it is, and let's figure out a way to bring the intimacy back.
That
You
is
know,
so powerful. And what's powerful also is that because you don't have it, he probably doesn't have it either. All the pieces of the why, and that he was able to
yeah.
come back, without all the pieces of the why. Ooh, super powerful. So, of course, people listening now, people listening on the replay, hashtag replay, are like biting at the bits, biting their nails, like, okay, Heather, tell us, how did you come back from the abyss? How did you come back from the black holeness of
Oh God.
12 years? I'm sure there are other questions like, how did you make it? How did you do it? Like, how did you deal with your desire and emotions and things like that? And then if you're willing to share, you can.
I'll
Um,
answer whatever question you want to start with.
Okay, so in the process of healing, because I know that there's some women, based on our last live, and there were some women listening who had also gone through some years of sexlessness.
Mm.
Maybe share one or two things that you were doing to keep yourself from going into
The nut
just
house.
really falling in, yeah, the net house, falling into the abyss yourself and never coming back, right? Like,
Oh god.
how did
All
you
right.
keep yourself
Well,
sane
I'll
and
tell you one thing that I'm not totally proud of.
mm, mm,
I mean, just be totally honest. It's out there, so it's not
sure.
like this is hidden. But there was a period of time when Chuck and I had a conversation, and he agreed, let's have an open relationship. You go out and get what
Mm,
you need sexually, and his only concern was, will you still be able to love me? And will you still be able
wow.
to, emotionally stay connected? So
Mm-hmm.
I did actually do that for about 2 years. And
Mm,
while it was crazy awesome in the beginning, uh,
mm.
in the long haul, it didn't actually give me what I needed. I thought that I could go out and separate my feelings from the sex. Like, I thought I could be a dude, basically, just go out there and knock them out and then come back. But it was really hard to not attach feelings. So that was
Mm-hmm.
something that I did not plan on happening, and I didn't want
Mm-hmm.
happen. And then the
Right.
next thing that I noticed was that what I really was needing, my soul was needing, is that soul connected type of physical intimacy with a man that I absolutely love and adore, that's my best friend, because
Yeah.
that kind of sex is so much better than just a one and done bye kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because when you're like emotionally and spiritually and everything connected, it makes the
Mm-hmm.
climax better. It makes the connection better. You actually feel like your souls like melding into one. It's like so hard to explain unless it's happened for you. But
Right, right,
that's
right.
what I realized I needed. So I said goodbye to that. And then I had like this coming home, kind of moment with Chuck. And then we
Mm.
learned how to reconnect again, together with
Yeah,
just us.
yeah. Which is so beautiful, and I'm so glad that you shared that because so first of all, that kind of connection, that kind of intimacy that you recognize that you needed, can't be replaced, can it?
No, but you know what? I had to go through that experience because I thought that what I was missing was just sex, but that's not
Right. But
what I
that's
was
not.
really missing. But I needed that experience to understand that about myself.
Yeah, yeah. Amazing. And the interesting thing is that when you come back from that, right? You what I call the cellular knowing, right? Your understanding of that need and that want and that desire of yourself. Your understanding of that part of yourself is so much deeper now, right? And you have that, and now you have that appreciation. It's a total different level. Like that's a cellular level, right? Like that's not something
It
that can
really
be
is.
taught to you, teach to you. Like that's a knowing within you.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's so powerful. And
Yeah.
so now, so you're back. You had that coming home. And then how did the healing process happen for both of you? And let me see if I don't know. Can I spotlight you? No, that went the other way. Hold on. There we go.
Oh,
Yes. Okay. We did
ah,
it.
I'm big. I'm on the big screen. I
You
made
were
it,
big.
Mom. I made it. Yeah, you know what? I really realized that it had nothing to do with in the bedroom. So we had
Mm,
to solve what was happening out of the bedroom for
mm,
it to then impact on a greater scale in the bedroom. And
mhm,
so what we had to do was heal one from the miscarriages, because we actually
mm,
recognized that that was the beginning of the trauma that had a wall of division up, in between us. So
yeah,
we did a lot of work on healing from the loss,
mhm.
and then we also learned that we suck at communication.
So wait a minute.
You
I
could be
have
like
a
talking, no, like you could talk and talk, like you could say a lot of words, right? But we realized that our approach was horrible. We were jumping over each other, not letting each other finish sentences.
Mm,
We were not really listening with our heart. We were more
mm,
listening with our head, and we
mm,
didn't know how to put ourselves in each other's shoes to understand like the why behind why we react and why we get triggered for things, and all of that. And so when we started to recognize those things and we got better at that, then I started to notice that emotionally we were connecting more every single day, which then led to more times of non-sexual touch. So that's kind of how it started, is like the emotional connection got stronger again, which built up the trust. And then the
mm,
physical, non sexual touch of holding hands, holding each other's faces, like looking into each other's
mm.
eyes and allowing, like just staring and allowing our souls to match up again. Kind of like
Yeah.
they do in Tantra, where you just like look and you like
Mm-hmm.
breathe with each other. And then there'd be times where we would just cry because it was very healing for us to
Wow.
held again in that way, like
Yeah.
soulfully. And
Yeah.
then slowly the intimacy, the physical sex started to come back. It wasn't all at once. It did take
Mm-hmm.
some time because we did have to like re get to know each other again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It was
Mm-hmm.
almost
Mm-hmm.
like having sex for the first time again, a little bit like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. Your story is amazing. It really is. And I'm so appreciative of you sharing. I'm so appreciative of you sharing how just being in each other's presence and not needing to do anything,
Mhm.
but just being in each other's presence was healing. Healing enough to bring emotion, bring tears. Like it's so powerful to me because I was listening to well, he's an energy healer, Jeffrey Allen. He talked about when he met his wife, and she's Japanese, and they don't speak each other's language, and yet there was a connection there,
Mhm.
that he felt was energetic. Like there was that same emotion connecting that you're talking about that can be so very powerful. And 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 here we are, and I'm going to take it general because it's you, but also here we are, married to our partners, maybe for years, speaking the same language, living with each other, having raised some kids to each other, and still not, and communicating, but not, right? Like communicating, but like missing each other, and right, and going over each other, and like right, and not
Uh-huh.
getting through.
Mhm.
And so, wow, how powerful it is that you can actually be quiet and not do and communicate. Oh, Heather, if you don't say anything else, listen. Oh my God, everybody who's watching, you're watching on the replay. Like, please go try that with your partner.
Mhm.
And ooh, that's so powerful, Heather. You just changed my world. You just rocked my world right now. Because how powerful could that be with anybody? How powerful could that be with from parent to with parent and child, right? Like to quiet, not do, and just be, and
Mhm.
then just allow the emotion, the feeling, the space, right,
Mhm.
the energy to communicate and to heal. So good.
Mhm.
mm.
Yeah, it's really good.
So now take us home, Heather. What's it like now?
Well, honestly, because I've been sharing more vulnerably the last several months, since
Mm-hmm.
September,
Mm-hmm.
we're 5 years now on the other side of this,
Mm. Okay.
but it's never perfect. No marriage is ever perfect. And what I'm realizing is that I have needed to take that perfection of in my mind where a couple is in love and they're kissing all the time and they're walking hand in hand
Mm.
on the beach, the Instagram life
The soap opera life. My husband liked to say the soap opera life.
It is like, no, it is not like that. You have to be super, super intentional with every
Mm-hmm.
single thing that you do. You have to become super aware of your surroundings, what's happening around you, what's going on
Mm-hmm.
in his world, what's going on in her world, what's going on in their
Mm-hmm.
world. Like, it takes a
Mm-hmm.
lot for us to slow our brain down and to really become aware and intentional with the people that we love.
Yeah.
But the more that I do that, the more I feel better about the fact that it's not perfect. And we still have times of no sex. As a matter of fact, we're like a couple months in right now to not actually coming together
Mm.
intimately. But
Mm.
now I know the reason, and now we know how to talk, and
Mm-hmm.
we have better
Mm-hmm.
communication tools, and we can
Yeah.
sit with it. And bonus, I am not taking it personal anymore like I used to.
Ooh.
I used to think something was wrong with our marriage, that it meant divorce, that it meant he was cheating. Like, I just assumed all of these things. And,
Mm-hmm.
and you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to just automatically jump there. You can actually sit in it, sit in the uncomfortableness of it, because it is uncomfortable. Here I am out here helping other people get their sex back together, and which I do every day. And my husband even
Yeah.
comes in and helps to counsel sometimes with some of the
Nice.
men, and yet
Nice.
we're not connecting right now. And so we are going on a deeper, journey and uncovering more layers, because there is layer upon layer upon layer, and God gives us the capability of healing, overcoming, and then going deeper, and
And then
then
going
healing,
deeper.
and then overcoming, and then going deeper still. So I don't think that we're ever going to be totally done, and all of that, until like God takes us home, honestly. But what this is doing for me and even my clients is it's showing the realness behind
Yes.
a healthy marriage, and that a
Yes.
healthy marriage doesn't mean that you have to have sex every single second of every single day. You can
Right.
still be healthy. You know what I mean?
And and it what it also does too, I really, oh, I'm so glad for this live. Because we're in a microwave society, right?
Mhm.
We want the deliciousness fast and now, right? We want the deliciousness fast and now. We want the tastiness now.
That
And
juiciness.
the juiciness now, right? And so you have all the advertisements of, like, all these coaches, these high level coaches, and I'm not knocking anybody, but right, it's like, hey, get your whole life together, healed and done in 90 days. And it's like, wait, but there are layers. And so it's really important. I think this will unlock and heal somebody today. Know that there are layers of healing, and everyone's going through their layers of healing and their layers of whatever. Like, you go into a sex coach, they're still going through their layers of success, right? You're going through whatever it
Oh
is.
yeah.
So
Trust
there's
me, I know a lot of
layers.
sex coaches that are still figuring out how to identify themselves sexually. So it's just the human experience. It really is just all about the human experience. And I'm a better coach for still going through it. I'll
Mm-hmm.
tell you that
Mm-hmm.
right now. I absolutely love it, and I'm actually grateful for it. I was
Mm-hmm.
scared at first, because I'm like,
Yeah.
if I share we're going through another period of this, is this going to make me less of an effective coach? So I did actually have
Mm.
that, like, fear and doubt, but no, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just faced it
Mm-hmm.
head on, and I've been sharing, and I'm even talking to my clients about it, and it's making me an even better, more effective person for not only myself, but even just how I show up, for them.
Because it's reality, right?
Yeah.
It's reality, and you get to go through that reality, and you get to share that reality, and you get to help people under mm, you get to help people navigate through their reality, and possible realities and possible expectations, rather than always expecting that it's going to be that fairy tale story ending and happily ever after, forever and ever and ever, amen, when there very well could be layers of healing.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you for being authentic. We throw that word around nowadays, and I'm grateful for it, because I think our earth is in an elevation of consciousness. But But there's like an Instagram authenticity, right? There's like a social media authenticity. And I'm so very grateful for you being vulnerable and being authentic and being like, here I am, here we are, this is what it is, and let's be free. Um,
Yes.
I love that about you.
Thank
So
you.
I'm sure you got something going on or something that the people can. I have your website up so that you want somebody's listening and you like, Heather, I need what you got. Right? And they're like, I need
Oh,
what you got. The website is there, but is there anything you want to share with the lovely people?
yeah. This weekend, I'm actually running a free masterclass on how to climax better, a little bit
Okay.
easier with a partner, because I know that sometimes that can come up for people.
Mhm.
And then how to connect better sexually with your partner. So that's going to be this weekend. So if y'all want to come, just send me wherever you're watching this. Just send me the word masterclass, and I'll get you the details. On my website, it's not going to show that masterclass, so you do actually have to message me the word masterclass. On the website, though, you can find the latest copy to my best-selling book, Why Doesn't My Husband Want Me?
Mm.
So that goes even deeper to the story that we're talking about today and all the tips and stuff that we did to overcome. I also have a link for my one-on-one coaching in there, and then I also have a link for speaking engagements. So if you'd like to have me either on a podcast or if you'd like to have me at an event, I love to speak on stage, churches, youth. I talk to a lot of youth about their sexuality and owning their sexuality. So I can go into a lot of different types of talks. So whatever your needs are, I am here for you.
And there you have it. And all the things are very, very important. And we literally could do a podcast on each one of those things that you are offering. So listen, you all, Heather is amazing. Take the opportunity. I don't know how many coaches are going to be more vulnerable and authentic and just open and really just dive in with you and just really be passionate about helping you get your sex life together. so so yes, if this is you and you're like, I would like this, please contact Heather. She's on LinkedIn. Where else are you, Heather? LinkedIn,
Oh gosh,
Instagram.
Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, just for sillies. And where else am I at? I feel like I'm in. Oh, I just got on Twitter, although I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm pretty much all over the place.
All right, so you can find Sex Coach Heather. You can find Sex Coach Heather anywhere. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Heather, for being here. Thank you. Thank you. I so very much appreciate you.
Thanks for having me. I love you so much, girlfriend.
Love you too. And now, everyone, as I put her there, thank you so much for watching. I know that your time is non-recyclable, so you've spent some time here with us, and it's not by accident. Even if you were scrolling, you were like, "Oh, this is not by accident," right? You were here because you were meant to get some of this inspiration, motivation, and power. You were either meant for it for yourself or you were meant for it with somebody else. So share it with somebody, because you could be the link to unlock someone and help that woman be free. What an important mission. So I'm Latoya, your inner power coach. And I have something coming up for you too. It's called Resurrection, Unearthing the Woman That You Have Been Waiting For. This is a program, it's 21 weeks, so it's not microwave. This is you actually honoring and respecting yourself enough to spend some time going deeper so that you can go higher, going deeper into loving yourself, trusting yourself, and believing in yourself again so that you can be your best and highest self. That's what we're getting ready to do. It's 21 weeks of you being able to really give yourself the time and space, the honoring and the respect and the healing. I'm going to do healing sessions every week during this 21-week experience. It's going to be absolute fire. So if you're like, I need this in my life, this is my year. This is my year to release, let go, regenerate, refresh, find myself, and be my most highest self. I have the place for you. So you can contact me. I'm on LinkedIn, Coach Latoya Z. I'm on Instagram, latoyazavala.com/resurrection. I'll be there for you. Okay. So connect with me if that's what you're wanting in your life. And so it has been such a pleasure being with you today. Thank you for showing up again, and we will see you next time.